Good King Wenceslas went to town, riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat, called it macaroni. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Good King Wenceslas is one of the bangers. One of my personal favorites.
Happy Christmas, as they say in England. Welcome.
That's another good thing about Christmas versus Hanukkah. Just
Yeah?
to say, it is impossible to know like when Hanukkah even ends. Like if you Google it, it like
too many
says
days.
it's done Friday, but it's really done Thursday. Like Christmas Day, it's like constant, the 25th. I love it.
Well, Merry Christmas, one and all.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. My name is Ebenezer Scrooge, and I'm here with my wife, Tiny Tim.
I do relate. Well, not actually, don't relate that much to Tiny Tim.
Well, you are a shorter person.
Yeah, but he's kind of like humorless.
Is he?
Tiny Tim.
Oh, he's too sincere for you?
He's a little bit of a sad sack.
Your complaint about Tiny Tim is that he's just a bit of too sincere and sweet.
Well, you know how like Oliver has a little more pep, or
He's
Annie.
got some sass. He's like, let me get some more.
Yeah.
Tiny Tim isn't like, can I have some more? He's like, you guys have all of it.
Yeah,
I don't need
he's
it.
just kind of like, please, sir, my knee's broken, sir.
What did he want? Pudding? Did he want Christmas pudding?
No, he needs a new crutch.
But didn't he also like want a pudding?
Oh, a goose.
He wanted a goose?
Well, for his family.
Have you ever eaten goose?
I mean, I'm assuming that's turkey.
What, you're assuming goose is turkey?
I don't know, goose.
Goose is not. Honey, I don't know if we can release this episode if you think a goose is a turkey.
What's a goose?
It's a goose. A goose is a goose, which is why they have the word goose.
Have you ever been to a restaurant in America where they're like, would you like some goose?
No, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist as a specific bird.
I thought they just called like a
Turkey's geese? Honey, I don't think we can release this episode.
I just never thought, well, why don't we eat geese here?
That's a good question that would have totally been okay to ask.
Well, I just assumed when they say like, you know, you should smell the goose, they're just talking
hold
about
on
the
a
turkey.
second. Wait. They say you should smell the
in
goose?
a Christmas Carol.
Oh.
The kids are like, Father, you should smell the goose. They all keep talking about eating a goose and a Christmas goose. So
Do you think a duck is a pigeon?
I don't know. Okay, can we just erase this then?
No, we can't though because it's so funny. It is going to ding your reputation internationally, but...
I thought it was like what British people called a Christmas turkey or something.
But why would they name it after another bird if it was turkey? It's a goose. It's goose. Geese fly, you know, they migrate. They go south for
I've
winter.
never eaten one, so I thought it was like...
So everything you haven't eaten you think is turkey? do you think chitlins are turkey?
I just didn't understand. Sorry. Can we change the subject, please?
I'm not mad. I'm delighted. I mean, I'm having some questions, but yeah, we could change the subject.
Well,
No, let's change the subject. Can I? Do you mind?
Hen like if someone's like we're eating hen?
A hen is turkey. Yeah, a hen is.
Okay, well that's what I was
a hen
thinking.
is not turkey. It's a chicken. It's a chicken. Natasha, you want to change the subject? Are you ready? What's a pelican?
Nobody eats pelican.
I'm sure someone's eating a pelican.
Well, I never.
Why is our dog growling? Our dog is growling right now at what she's just learned about you. She's like, you think a goose is a turkey?
Okay, so if you're eating hen, turkey, goose, it's all very different. Seems
They're
like it would
different birds.
Seems like it would all taste the same.
They're different birds.
Right, but it's just like a Christmas hen or whatever.
You know what they all are?
What?
Fowl.
Yeah, a Christmas fowl. I just call it turkey.
No, you can't. If somebody could say, I want a fowl for Christmas, and you could say, how about turkey? But you couldn't have somebody say, I would like a goose for Christmas, and you come through with turkey. They'd be like, this is turkey.
All right, well, I would like you to cook a goose for me then.
Really? Mm-hmm. I could try to cook a goose.
Actually, I'm good. That sounds so gross.
How do you know? You thought it was turkey 5 minutes ago.
I don't like turkey, and I don't like chicken, and I don't like geese.
You don't know if you like geese. You don't
like
know what
hen.
geese are. You are unaware of what a goose is.
All right, listen.
Wait, can I ask one more question about this?
Yeah.
You know that famous famous children's story of Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
Did you think that he stole a turkey that laid golden eggs?
No, it was a goose.
But were you always thinking like, oh, he stole a turkey, the turkey that laid the golden egg?
Listen, when I say turkey, it's just a reductive word for all of these.
Don't try to say
gross.
what do you say reductive, trying to win back some of your intellectual fortitude. It's not reductive, it's wrong. It's the wrong bird.
Is it very clear in your mind, Laura, that a goose is like that you would order a goose in England and it might be like a turkey?
Wait, that's not the right framing of the question. Is it very clear in your mind that you might order a goose and it would be turkey? You're wrong.
I'm just saying.
Is
when
it
someone
unclear?
says a goose in England, I'm like, oh, they probably mean something else.
Why?
I don't know. Yes.
So our producer was saying that this reminds her of when Jessica Simpson, and I like this comparison, when Jessica Simpson thought that the Chicken of the Sea tuna fish brand sold actual chicken that they had fished out, that they had grabbed out of the sea.
Okay.
Chicken, or as you would call them, I guess ducks or hens.
Okay, wait. Let me just say though.
Yeah.
When I was a young child and I was in a Christmas Carol, every
You were in a car
year,
accident and you had a little bit of brain damage.
Every year I had to talk about the goose and the goose and the Christmas goose and the Christmas goose. And I think I must have like in my head just been like, oh, that's like a British term for like, because I was like, what is this goose? And it would always look like what our turkeys were on Thanksgiving.
Right.
And that was the prop. So like in my head, I was like, oh, a goose is like, it's like, because I had never had a goose growing up in Illinois. So I was like, what is that? Because I'm a method actor and I like to find out everything.
Yeah, so
even as a child. So I think I like saw it as a turkey, and then I just was like, oh yeah, it's like that.
That makes
I wasn't
sense.
saying a goose is a turkey.
Wait, do you know that there is a bird though called a goose?
Yes.
And that it's different from a
Moshe.
No, I'm serious. The turkey goes. How does the turkey go?
Gobble.
And how does the goose go?
I actually don't know.
Honk. The goose goes honk.
Yeah.
It goes honk honk.
That's cute.
It's not cute. They're kind of vicious actually.
I know swans are vicious.
Swans are the worst, they say.
Like you have to just like hit them on the head with your hat.
And ducks, I don't know if you know this, they have corkscrew penises that their entire sex act is they unfurl their corkscrew if you're at home right now, it's Christmas Day. I heartily recommend you gather the family around, go onto YouTube and look up duck getting erection, because the duck, its corkscrew penis instantly in a moment unfurls, unscrews, goes like, it's like, it looks like a tapeworm like unrolling itself into the duck vagina, and it comes immediately. So it's got this really complicated penis that unfurls itself and then just blasts, and then it's done. So look that up.
I'm good.
I think it's great, honey. I understand your explanation, and it makes me think of something else. I was about to change the subject. You want to go back? Because I would love to.
Will you just help me out with this? Like, I wasn't saying that a duck is the same thing as a goose. I'm saying it's like a goose.
You said duck now.
I mean, turkey.
Okay, let's go back a little bit. Birds.
Okay, you can change the subject.
Well, what I was going to say is based on, I understand what you're, as delighted as I was at the last 5 minutes of conversation, I understand what you're saying, because we all have these weird developmental dead ends that, no, this sounds bad, but I'm about to make it's not going to be mean. Dead ends of things that we heard when we were kids or observed when we were kids, decided that that's the way the world was, and we never had the need as adults to go back and re-examine those thoughts or memories. And I have stuff like that in my mind, where things that I thought for a long time that I didn't realize until I rethought about them as an adult, like, oh my God, that made no sense. None of that was true. You know what I mean? Like little memories. I have like a memory of, like, for a long time, I lost my virginity when I was 15. Mm-hmm. And I was like really embarrassed about how long it took me. I was like ashamed because all my friends had been bragging about having sex since I had met them. And when I lost my virginity at 15, I was like, damn, I'm the last one to go. Now, re-examining it, I realized they were all just lying. That just wasn't true. Or I had another memory. For a long time, I had a memory that that sometimes there are marshmallows in tomatoes. Now, hear me out. When my mom, I hated tomatoes growing up. And my mom, when I was a little kid, cut open a tomato. And you know how they sometimes have like a little white spot in the tomato? Mm-hmm. I think she showed it to me and was like, look, it's a marshmallow. And I like was such a young kid that I was like, oh, wow, they have marshmallows in tomatoes sometimes. And it just like went into my brain and like the computer downloaded that information. And I'm talking a long time until I re-examined that memory. I was like, what? Of course there aren't marshmallows in tomatoes. Does this make any sense to you?
Yes, no, I hear you. Thanks for making me trying to make me feel better. But I also would like to know why in America we don't eat geese.
Oh,
ever.
we're back to that. Okay. I'm in. I think that the goose is a very rich and gamey animal. And I think that, but actually, I don't know the answer why we don't eat goose. You know who would know is Guy Branum.
I wish we could call him.
We could definitely try to call him. Do you want to try and call him right now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can call Guy Branum right now and get the answer that America wants on this Christmas day.
Hello.
Hi, Guy.
Hi, Guy.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, we don't want to waste too much of your time, but just to catch you up quickly, Natasha doesn't know the difference between a goose and a turkey. Now, we have a question about goose.
Okay.
Natasha?
Well, I was telling him that when I was young and in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, my whole childhood, I always used to have to say all these things like, Father, you should smell the goose and we need to pay for the goose. And that's Tiny Tim's whole thing was to get the goose.
Christmas goose.
And I always wondered what it was. And they just told me it was like a turkey and it looked
They
like
told
a turkey.
me? Wait a minute, Guy. I'm sorry. I know that we said we would only be a second. We've been talking about this for 20 minutes. This is the first time she's mentioned that told her that a goose was a turkey.
Was. Anyway, I'm just saying now I have no reference point to a goose.
Long story short, she thought that in A Christmas Carol, when they said we need a Christmas goose, they were talking about having turkey. But
okay, the thing is, I don't think that this is exceedingly unreasonable because if you look at how much turkey has replaced beef in like what British people have for like holidays, like I always assumed in J.K. Rowling that they had swapped out goose for turkey, and no, she wrote turkey because that's what they do now. Like,
all right, Guy, I knew you'd be sympathetic to the female gaze here. Here's our question. Why have they phased out goose? Why don't we ever see goose on a menu in the United States?
Right. What a great question. For Thanksgiving, because I was going to be here alone for Thanksgiving, was like, oh, I'll finally try my hands at a goose. And Whole Foods was like, we only really have them around Christmas. I should have gone to fucking Pavilions. They always have geese. Geese are bad.
Oh, it just doesn't taste good.
It's dry. It's very, very dry. And to do a goose properly, you really need to brine it well. And like, honestly, a turkey is better, but you do still need to brine it. But like, you know how like basically it's hard to cook a goose and have it be moist.
Got it.
Sounds like another bird I know.
The turkey?
Yeah. Sounds like, Guy, if there was one meat that was the most similar to a goose, what would it be?
It would be a turkey.
Thank you.
One last question before we let you go.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between the bird turkey and the bird goose? Are those two different birds or are they the same bird?
They are. And honestly, me saying, when Natasha asked if there a bird that is most like a goose, and I said turkey, that was me just trying to be nice to her. The answer is that it's way more like a duck. It's more like a big duck. But yes, they are distinctive birds because geese fly all over the fucking planet and turkeys just hang out. Turkeys are like fucking pigs. They just gain weight.
They're bird pigs.
They're bird pigs.
All right, Guy. Well, thank you. We knew you'd be able to answer this question.
Hey, all right, we miss you. See you soon.
I miss you.
Happy
Bye-bye.
Christmas. Bye, Guy.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Guy thought it was reasonable. He's a sweet man. Listen, like I said, we all have shameful things in our life. We've just found out one of yours. And so why don't we hear some other people's shameful things?
All right.
Hey, Tosh. Hey, Moshe. Obviously, I'm calling because I have a secret. My secret is that when I first started masturbating, I would like wedge my ass up against the front of a bathtub and turn the faucet on and let that water just like hit my clit, and I would come really, really hard. Probably a little too hard for somebody just getting into that. And I guess my secret is that I still do it, and it's still awesome. It feels really good. 10 out of 10 recommend. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Wait, first of all, I want to know so is she like on the side of the bathtub and then kind of like opening her legs towards the faucet? Because she said she squatted her ass up against.
It's Christmas. I'm not comfortable with any of this because she's clearly talking about herself as this very young person. She's like, does she have to be so pornographic? Oh, the splooshing gush of white water dribbling down my clit. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, I think it sounded kind of interesting, and I want to try it.
Give it a whirl.
But I didn't. I wanted to see if you had a read on what she was saying exactly. No, in terms of like...
In terms of anatomy and where exactly to put your butt?
Yeah, like where... She was talking about the edge of the bath, like the lip of the bathtub is where she puts her butt?
I'm not sure. Yeah, the edge.
But then you're to the side of the faucet.
I'm confused by it too, I'll be honest. If you're listening right now, if you could send us a picture of yourself or a video.
No, don't.
Why not? Now I'm interested. And I'd like you to help my wife. I don't get that either because I've heard many women talk about using the water pressure or the...
Oh, you have? This is the first I've ever heard of it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, it's like a classic thing.
So do you put the pressure on the water pressure on when you're about to come, or from the beginning?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a clitoris. I don't have any idea. But I've heard many women talk about either using the faucet or the the handheld shower thing.
That makes sense. Yeah, but that's
but
more of like a wand, that you could just...
Yeah, but it's just the water pressure that's blasting. So I don't know. I can't help you here, Natasha. That goose is cooked.
All right, let's hear another one.
Hey, Moshe and Natasha. I love the show Endless Secrets Hotline. I've got something I've been dying to get off my chest, but it's also kind of a humble brag secret, but I don't have anybody else I can share it with, so I look forward to hearing your comments. So my wife and I are a very average whole wheat bread type couple in our mid-30s, professionals with obscene college debt and a kindergarten-aged kid. We've been together for over 12 years, married for most of it, and have always had a happy, strong relationship with a pretty healthy sex life. No wild kinks or anything, but in college we both had same-sex experiences that we enjoyed, but thought that was over with when we got together. Well, almost 2 years ago, my wife asked me something that had previously just been half-drunk dirty talk, and wanted to know if I wanted to have a threesome with a guy or a girl. So I said yes immediately. So we started having serious conversations about what we wanted, what our limits were, doing online research and signing up for some of the dating websites and apps that cater to the swinging, quote, lifestyle. Ideally, we wanted to find a couple looking for the same things we were, with everyone into sexy times with everybody else. Well, after a lot of online conversations, a few awkward double dates with sex-craved doctors and a one-eyed cuck, and an even more semi but not really foursome, we hadn't found anything that checked our boxes and had been letting it sit on the back burner. Out of the blue, this couple messaged us off one of the websites. We started talking and really connected with them. They're both smoking hot, have kids about the same age as ours, smart, funny people we would have been friends with had we met normally. We really hit it off with them, and what was supposed to be just a casual sex thing has turned into this weird but wonderful polyamorous relationship. Over the past 10 months, we've had double dates with the opposite sex partner, same sex partner, various iterations of threesomes, and the occasional foursome when we can all line up babysitters. We started regular weekly dinners together, where the kids hang out and play, and we take turns sneaking away to the bedroom to fool around. Definitely not where we thought we were going to go when we started this, but it feels so right and good, and we all have a ton of fun. Not that it hasn't been without bumps in the road, but if anything, it has totally made our marriage more secure and stronger. Thanks for letting me share. Keep up the great podcasting work. And if anybody's interested, check it out.
I was really with him. I was actually having like a mind-expanding experience until until the part where he's like, we have these family dinners and then we swap out going into the bedroom to go.
What's wrong with that? Their time is limited.
How horny are you and me don't jaunt off to the bedroom to go doggy style real quick while our kid is having her peas and carrots.
But these people are like, they are blessed. They have some magical thing that's happened in their lives. And I think that they each have this openness that they might not even be aware of that's obviously very special, because I've never heard of anything like that. I mean, it doesn't sound like it would last.
Well, but
it could.
I do want to say that guy's wife sounded really cool, open-minded, chill, just like the right kind of partner, where she was like, I mean, what a brave person to be like, do you want to have a threesome? I just thought that was really cool of her when I did hear that. That's a little joke, but I also was thinking about it. Well, my first reaction was like, wow, how many different experiences are there in this world? There's so many people in the world that somewhere out there, people are having so many different iterations of experience, and like, what a bizarre thing that happened to them. They thought they wanted a threesome and they ended up falling in love. Like, it's such an interesting thing to go out and find two people and you all kind of start to fall in love with each other.
But maybe polyamory is a thing that is going to grow. I'm
sure it is. Yeah. It's bigger now than it used to be, I think.
I don't know anyone in a relationship like that.
That sounds uncomfortable to me. Honestly, a sex thing that is like one night and it's over sounds very uncomplicated and very easy. But a sex thing where it's like this constant like partnership just sounds so too complicated for me.
The one thing that sounded pretty cool, although I'm wondering too, they're doing this in COVID, obviously, so maybe that's why it feels so insular or something.
Oh, maybe you think they're like a pod, kind of.
Yeah,
polypod.
But the thing that sounded kind of fun when he was like, sometimes we just like do different iterations. Like, I'll go out with the girl, I'll go out with the guy, they'll go out. They kind of have like this. There's like two different versions of a sex partner.
Right.
Which is kind of interesting.
You can have a dating life. You can have a love life. You can have co-parenting, a family. It's like this whole crazy situation. The only thing, again, I didn't like was that they're so horny that they have to like tag team wrestle each other out of the kitchen table to go make out in the bedroom. That's where you lost me, dude. It's like, how about just don't finger each other during dinner? Doesn't seem that hard.
Okay, let's hear one last one.
Hi, guys. Love the podcast. I have a secret. I am an essential worker at a big organic grocery store owned by Jeff Bezos. And people are awful in the quarantine, so I got a quarantine secret. As customers walk around and are awful, I try to take the opportunity to fart and walk by them. Because kind of think they can't smell it as much, but I'm hoping it'll creep in below the mask. But more specifically, people that are not wearing masks. And then I like to just kind of, when I can, cut one and walk by them. Because they're really fucking awful. People are fucking awful. Thank you. Love the podcast.
So it's legal to go into a grocery store without a mask on?
I think it varies from state to state, probably. Yeah.
I know, because everyone puts it on the front of the stores here. So maybe they
don't. In California, I don't think it is legal, but I think in other states it probably is. In fact, I think in South Dakota, it's illegal to wear a mask, and it's recommended by law to catch COVID. I'm not positive.
If I were a worker at Whole Foods,
it sucks.
And then someone came in without a mask on, I would be so angry.
It's so rude that in the name of your like version of personal freedom, you would make everyone around you uncomfortable. It's just
I didn't really realize that was happening.
But what I do want to say to this guy is there have been vectors of anal plumes causing COVID. So you do have to be careful. This person's not wearing a mask, so you're like, oh, look at this, this irresponsible COVID denier asshole, and maybe your actual asshole is giving that person COVID. So let's all just be careful, and maybe a fart spray or a whoopee cushion would be good in the new year. Natasha?
I think we need one more. That was too depressing.
Okay, let's pop another one.
It's Christmas. Please, sir, it's only once a year, sir.
Can I have some turkey? Can I have some roasted turkey slices?
Okay, let's hear one more.
Hi. I grew up in a haunted house. At least my siblings and I thought it was when we were little. But we could have just been jumpy. Now that I'm older, I can't tell what I believe. Anyways, my parents were always very dismissive of our fears. So one time, to try and scare my dad, I pretended to speak to a ghost and be in sort of a trance, I guess, to freak him out. And he completely believed me, but wasn't freaked out at all, which was my intention. He was actually amazed and thought it was really cool. And he told my entire extended family about it. And now they all think I have this like special gift from God. But really, I was just fucking with him as punishment for not believing us. And years have gone by and I never told anyone the truth. So, also I jerked off to Jim Carrey in
All right.
Pet Detective 2 in my early pubescent years. Thanks so much.
I can't. It's not. I guess it's a Christmas gift, but it's just too much. We tried contacting Jim Carrey's publicist and telling
They
him
obviously don't want to be on the podcast. We're talking
decline
about how,
to
like,
respond.
well, maybe we can just get him on and then like kind of like throw that at him.
He's got to know. At this point, it's a bona fide global phenomenon. There's no way to doubt that.
That a lot of young women's first sexual awakening was by watching Jim Carrey in
there-
some movie.
We're one podcast with one slice of demographic listeners. And among that group of listeners, we've had 6 or 7 of these. That must mean that there was a Bangladeshi girl that was watching a dubbed version of Ace Ventura that was like, oh, I too feel my sexuality for the first time. Crazy.
Well, that was sweet.
That was a cute one. It is funny to me for your parents to be like, no, we don't believe in ghosts. And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah.
I would have totally done that.
Really?
Well, that sounds fun.
Oh, I have a terrible memory. You want to hear a terrible memory of mine?
Sure.
This was like my brother and I thinking we were funny. One day, you remember the trick where you could put a knife in your armpit and then if you lied down, it looked like there was a knife sticking out of you?
Yeah.
So we did that and I covered my brother in ketchup. And he was on the ground with a knife in his armpit. And I ran into my grandmother's bedroom and I was like, Grandma, come quick, something's wrong. And she came into the kitchen and my brother was lying on the floor covered in red liquid with a knife sticking out of him. And she was just like, ah! And then we just all like popped up like, ha ha, Grandma, ha 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 ha. And she just was obviously so unbelievably furious. We just thought, we were like, oh, it's a joke. No, it's just a joke. But anyway.
Did she cry?
I think she probably did.
Did you get in trouble?
No, it was worse than that. You know, when you do something bad enough, you don't even get in trouble.
Okay, well, happy Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas to all. And to the Jews listening, I hope you enjoyed the Chinese food. And stay safe in this new year. Yeah. Speaking of New Year's, don't forget to get your tickets to the Comedy Mega Show. And the URL for that bad boy is dun da da dun.
Me, Moshe, Fred Armisen, Reggie Watts, Andrew Michon, and the hilarious Brent Weinbach. We usually go to San Francisco to do this show, and we have a rotating cast of friends who'll come do it with us. But now we're doing it live. I'm so excited. This year we're doing it live from our closet.
December 31st, obviously New Year's. It's $10 for the YouTube live stream tickets and $20 for the VIP in the Zoom tickets where you can interact a little bit. it, go to tinyurl.com/2021 mega show to get your tickets now. See Reggie, Fred Armisen, Natasha, myself, Brent Weinbach, Andrew Michon.
I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really fun. I've had 2 Zoom experiences and they definitely surpassed what my expectations. So
Agreed.
I think it's going to be fun. We'll put the kid to bed. We'll go up to the closet.
It's going to be tight.
I'll pop a bottle.
Let's pop bottles. Happy New Year, everybody.